Bitcoin is down 5% today, Ethereum is down 4%, and Binance Coin is down almost 9%. And in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and cover the reasons why and what's been going on and how it impacts the crypto market. And I'm also going to talk about what I've done today in order to take advantage of this situation. Hello there, my name is Cody the Coin Raptor, and if you guys enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit like. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for the most up-to-date information. So what happened today was the SEC filed charges against Binance founder Changpeng Zhao and the exchange itself based on the sale of unregistered securities. Now, if you guys remember, the CFTC also had leveled charges against him as well back in March. So this is kind of an extension of that, except it's coming from the SEC. Now, what they're alleging here is that the Binance and BAM trading with operating unregistered national securities exchanges, brokers, dealers, and clearing agencies, Binance and BAM trading with the unregistered sale and offer of Binance's own crypto assets, including so-called exchange token, BNB, a so-called stablecoin, Binance USD, BUSD, and certain crypto lending products and staking services. They're also saying that Zhao, as a control person for Binance and BAM trading operation of unregistered national security exchanges, brokers, dealers, and clearing agencies. So what they're saying here is that Binance and CZ have violated these laws. So the SEC's come out and they put this information out. They've put out this press release and they are moving forward with this investigation. Now, the interesting thing about this investigation is I actually went through this, and I think the silver lining in this case, because it's not all bad news, but the silver lining in this case is that they specifically outline in this case what is a security and what is not a security. So they come out and they say specifically, this includes but is not limited to BNB, BUSD, and the units of each of the crypto asset securities further described below, with trading symbols SOL, ADA, Matic, FIL, Atom, Sand, Mana, Algo, XS, and COTI. Okay, so specifically they're talking about those crypto, and everything else not mentioned in this case would not be a security. So you'll notice that Bitcoin is not on there. Ethereum is also not on there. So according to the SEC, those are not securities, which I actually think is pretty important. We've said this many times on this channel, but figuring out what a security is and what isn't a security is very important, because if you believe, as I do, that Bitcoin is a commodity and not a security, it means that Bitcoin is regulated differently, and there's a different set of rules that they have to apply, and it'd be regulated the same as, say, gold, as opposed to some of these unregistered securities and some crypto, because it's not crypto, it is a commodity. So anyways, it's interesting to come out and they say that these are the securities specifically that they mentioned, all right? And they leave out, like I said, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's really important. Now, the Binance team has hit back, and they've said, this is their response. They've said, most recently, we have engaged in extensive good faith discussions to reach a negotiated settlement to resolve their investigations. But despite our efforts with this complaint today, the SEC abandoned that process and instead chose to act unilaterally and litigate. We are disheartened by that choice. And they also come out and say, perhaps the most surprising, the SEC's actions undermine America's role as a global hub for financial innovation and leadership. Digital asset laws remain largely undeveloped in most of the world, and regulation by enforcement is not the best path forward. So what's going on here is that instead of making things clear, they are trying to enforce these regulations with these investigations, okay? Instead of just saying and laying it out black and white, hey, this is what you guys need to do, this is what a security is, this is what not a security is. Instead, they're coming out and they're just saying, we're going to charge you instead after this investigation. So it's very disappointing to hear that the SEC and the CFTC both kind of share this point of view, but it is what it is in this case, and Binance could still win these cases. It's entirely possible that they do, and if that's the case, then that would be bullish for crypto. But we're going to go ahead and talk about what's going on with the Bitcoin price. So Bitcoin has taken a big hit today, like I said before, down 5% today. And what's interesting about this is we take a look at our chart TA, we see that we had previous support here at 26, about 600. That level completely capitulated, and then now you see the level below that at about 26,000. That level also capitulated, so I'm going to go ahead and take out that support and the other support as well. Now, the support that we're left at is actually the support that I called out earlier in one of my earlier videos about here at about 25,400, or essentially right on top of the 200-day moving average. Now, you can say 200-day moving average. You can also say 200-week moving average. They're both very close to each other. They're both at about 25,300 or so, but we're going to go back to the daily here. They're at about 25,200, and that's kind of where it came back down again. There's buyers that stepped in, and they pushed up the price from that point. Now, we've seen a huge volume day right now to push Bitcoin under that level of almost 4,000 BTC trading hands in a single day. And what we're starting to see is the RSI pointing more towards an oversold condition. So if you go ahead and take a look at our daily RSI here at the bottom, what you'll notice is that this is the lowest RSI that we've seen so far, about 36 on the daily since all the way back here in March. So you'll notice that March capitulation we had back when the banks failed. It's not as serious of selling pressure as that was, but it is close. It is very close. We are very close to being technically oversold, and that would be under 30. Okay, so what I'm seeing here right now is the crypto market is not taking this news very well. Okay, what I think we could wind up seeing is support in this band right here. I said previously that we'd probably go down to 25K, and we have gone pretty close to 25K before we hit that 200-day and 200-week moving average and bounced off of it. So what we're looking at right now is most likely it'll find some support here. It'll chop around a little bit. We might dump a little bit, but then we'll wind up seeing a recovery in the coming days. I think we'll wind up getting a recovery bounce. Now, as for me and what I did, so today, for the first time since March, since that capitulation that I talked about, I actually went out of my Bitcoin position. I get in at about 25,700, and I think that right now, this is a fantastic point for me to add to my position. I'm very interested in buying below that as well, so if we keep falling, I will also continue to add to my position as we get lower, okay? So, and if we get lower, I'm going to continue adding my position, and that goes the same for Ethereum, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But for Bitcoin, it is possible that we will actually head a bit lower. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at our funding rate, what we can see here for the funding rate is that longs are still dominant, but based on that huge landslide we had back here, this big down day, I would say that these longs are going to probably wind up either capitulating or they're going to get liquidated. It does seem like every single time these longs build up, they tend to get liquidated, and that also drives the price a bit lower. Now, it's also possible that we'll wind up seeing the shorts regain the momentum, but if that happens, I'll be sure to let you guys know about it. Now, as for the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, what we have here is currently at 43, which isn't too crazy, but it is lower than we've seen in the past couple of days. And if we take a look at the totality of the crypto markets, what we're seeing here is that it's barely just above about $1 trillion. And we've seen a big hit from the altcoins. We've seen a big hit from stable coins. We've seen a big hit from DeFi as well. All those market caps have taken a big hit. So let's take a look at our Ethereum chart TA as well. We go over here to Ethereum, and what we can see here is that Ethereum came all the way down to our support line here at about 1772. It was rejected just like Bitcoin, and now it's up here at about 1800. Now, the area that I'm interested in buying Ethereum is below this level if possible, 1770, or even down here at the 200-day moving average, 1724, somewhere in this region down here. It has not yet capitulated enough for me to buy it. You'll see here in the RSI, it's only down to 43, so it's not nearly as oversold as Bitcoin. And I'm waiting for this one to come down as well. So if Bitcoin sells off, I do expect that Ethereum's also going to wind up selling off with it, but we could actually wind up seeing a little bit of support here in the meantime. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the big one, and that is Binance Coin. So just as you might expect, Binance Coin sold off hard today, and Binance Coin came all the way down here. We found support. It actually went right through that 300 level support that was previously the strong support, and now it's hit the support that it was back in March. This is the first time it's hit this level since back in the March capitulation at about 272. It bounced off this level, and now it's back up here at about 278. So this level right here has held all the way back since January for Binance Coin. I would expect that this to remain the dominant support level, especially considering the fact that it's actually oversold technically under RSI. It's at about 25. So this position is greatly oversold for Binance Coin. I'm not interested in adding to Binance Coin for now, but I am looking at it, I'm monitoring it, and I will make a decision on that. And if you guys are interested in hearing about that, be sure to follow me on Twitter for the most up-to-date information and when I make my buys, okay? So that's all I've got for you guys today. What do you guys think about the news that the SEC is charging Binance? Is this overreach, or do you think that this might actually be necessary regulation? And are you guys interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other cryptos? Definitely interested in hearing about that. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.